Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, I'll take you through habit 2 of the 7 habits for effective people from the book written by Dr. Stephen Covey. Begin with the end in mind. The basic premise of habit 2 is that you create everything twice. First, you create it in your mind, and then you create it doing the things that you have already been able to conceive in your mind. Habit 2 is a continuation of the private victory habits. Yeah, there are 3 habits in the private victory, and is proactive, that was I recorded earlier, and also I've done habit 3, which was put first thing first. So now is habit 2, begin with the end in mind. See, people are working harder than ever before, but because they lack clarity and vision, they aren't getting very far. They, in essence, are pushing a rope with all their might. This is a quote from Dr. Stephen Covey. So, when you push rope, but without a vision, you don't get very far. Yeah? In fact, Dr. Stephen Covey begins this chapter by inviting us to visualize attending your own funeral. Imagine you are attending your own funeral. What do you want to hear people say about you? What do you want to hear your family member say about you, your friends say about you, your colleagues at work, the community members? What do you want them to say about you? So if you can visualize this funeral and what you heard them saying about you, by being proactive, by being to say, okay, this is really what I want them to say about me. You create those in your mind. Those are the words that you want to hear. Then you live your life appropriately so that it generates the behavior, it will create the behavior, and it generates the impression and the perception by people. This is what you are all about when you were alive. So begin with the end in mind. We need to look into the whole 360 degrees around us, about our family. How do we appear to our family, our friends, our colleagues, and our community? So the thing is, we did this in a company. When I was in one company, we were trying to do a vision for the company, and we say, okay, let's imagine forward 5 years from now. Imagine we are being invited to a grand prize presentation by the country Prime Minister, giving awards to the best organizations for achieving biggest contribution to the country, to the people, and so on. What would be our speech be like? So if we can imagine 5 years from now receiving the prize and receiving the awards, this will be the speech that we want to say to those people. This is about creating the end, beginning with the end in mind. Because 5 years from now we'll be saying, we thank you very much, we achieved these awards because we achieved, this is what we have done. This is what we have done. But we look back from 5 years ahead of us. We already created it in our mind. And then we actually go out and creating it at work, what we really want to achieve. What it means when we say begin with the end in mind. It means to understand the desired end result, to understand the desired outcome. All things are created twice. I said it right at the beginning. First, we have a mental creation, and second, we have the physical creation. Even when we want to build a house, for example, first we have the imagination in our mind, what kind of house do we want? Then we translate that into a drawing, architecture drawing, design, and so on. And then, brick by brick, we actually build the house as we have already envisaged in our mind what our house will be like. So this is about beginning with the end in mind. I ran an exercise with a group of students when I was doing this for the development program for a group of students. I divided this group of students into small teams of 3 people, and I gave to them jigsaw puzzle boxes, jigsaw puzzles, but without the picture of what the jigsaw puzzles will look like when they have completed rearranging all the pieces. I didn't give them the picture. It was very, very difficult for them to complete, although it was quite a simple jigsaw puzzle. But then I produced the picture. I said, this is what you're trying to build. And it was accomplished. They completed that quite easily after that. So again, illustrate that if you have your end picture, you have the picture of what you want to achieve, then it will be easier for you to create and to do those things in order to achieve your desired outcome. All things are created twice. Yeah? So always remember that. All things are created twice. First in your mind, second, the actual creations of what we want to achieve. But there are things about leaderships and management. At work, there's leaderships and there's management. Leadership is the first creation, and management is the second creation. Leadership is about doing the right things. It's about the vision. It's about choosing what are the right things for you and your team that you want to achieve. Management is doing the things right. So once you know what are the right things, and management comes in and say, okay, let's do these things the right way, in the most cost-effective, in a timely manner, in a safe and sustainable way. So first leadership, that is creating the vision, and then the management implementing those vision. While every country we know would have their country vision, while every organization and company that we know will have their company and organization vision, at the personal level, Dr. Covey also says that we can have our personal mission statement. So that in our life, we need to create a vision in our mind. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, what kind of life do we want to lead? How do we appear to everybody around us? What kind of spiritual life do we want to be? What kind of social life we want to be? What kind of physical and mental health do we want to be in? What kind of professional life we want to achieve? This was a very, I learned about this very early in my career, and at that time I visualized, and I created my own personal statement, and I visualized in the future, 10 years, 20 years, what kind of car I'll be driving, what kind of house I'll be living with my family, how many children would I be having with my wife, what kind of people I'll be associated with at social setup, and also in meetings, in business meetings, who will I be meeting for business discussions. By visualizing that, you actually starting to become what you want to be. So professionally, I always say very early in my life that after the first year, I already had set an ambition to be the director of HR. But at the age of 26, I already started to be the HR director that I want to be. I dress like one. I go and socialize with those people that is associated with HR director. I start reading books that is going to lead me to be a good HR director. I even take part-time courses dedicating 18 months of my weekend's life studying for a postgraduate diploma in human resource management. I make a career switch from engineering to human resource because that was the end in mind that I set in my mind. And then you start doing things to achieve those ambitions, those targets, those professional ambition that you have. Yeah. So talking from personal experience, And having seen the success, the result, the outcome of the benefit of having the first creation in the mind, and how systematic and how easy it was to achieve those things by to do the second creation, subconsciously you'll be doing and guiding yourself to do those things to achieve the first creation. I can vouch with quite a lot of positivity and confidence that habit number 2, beginning with the end in mind, is indeed very effective for us to take it at personal level as well as at the professional level. When I was with another company on a team building mission, among all I was already promoted as HR director. So this company organized a team building among all the regional HR directors from different countries, and we had a meeting in Hong Kong. And at the peak, there's a place in Hong Kong they call the peak. On top of the peak, the facilitator, the consultant, asked all of us, each one of us, to write down 27 things that we want to achieve before we die. Of course, I asked, why 27 things? And I said, well, just write 27 things. So I'm going to say to you the same thing. Just write 27 things that you want to achieve before you die. I wrote mine, and again, I can share with you that actually many of those things that I have written, I have actually achieved. Because subconsciously, once you know what is it that you want to achieve, your subconscious will take over and guide you and lead you towards achieving those things. At the center of our life is our paradigm, is our soul, is our inner self. You know, there is a very powerful motive at the center of our life, very powerful strengths that will guide us to what we want to be. So surrounding that center, it will be things like, are we talking about job security or life security? Are we talking about guidance, a source of guidance in your life, direction, faith, spirituality? Are we talking about power, source of power? Are we talking about the wisdom, self-learning, self-development? So once all of this comes together, then that will have a very powerful influence to enlarge your circle of influence. So you move from your circle of concern into your circle of influence, because at the end, the bigger your circle of influence is, the more you are in control of achieving what you want to achieve with your life. You remove one by one, layer by layer, the circle of concerns. Some people don't move forward because they continuously to focus on problems. They continuously to focus on blaming other people, blaming everything around them. And these people will not move forward. The people who move forward and making progress in their life, whether in their personal life or their professional life, are the people who focus on finding solutions, on enlarging their circle of influence. So let's go back to this personal mission statement. The personal mission statement will have roles and goals. Yeah? So you have a mission statement and you say, okay, these are the things that I want to achieve, those are your goals, and these are the things that I'll be doing, those are your roles, those are your actions to achieve those goals. And they are all interlinked. I want to summarize this habit number 2 of beginning the end in mind by saying that begin with the end in mind is based on imagination. The ability to envision in your mind what you cannot at present see with your eyes. So the mind can see further than what your eyes can see. It is based on the principles that all things are created twice. There is a mental first creation and a physical second creation. The physical creation follows the mental, just as a building follows a architectural design, the blueprint. If you don't make a conscious effort to visualize who you are and what you want in life, then you empower other people and circumstances to shape you and your life by default. And that's the way it is. If you don't take charge of your life, you don't create a vision for yourself, the circumstances, the people around you will shape your life. Will say, these are the things you should go, these are the way that you should go, these are the things you should do. So therefore, always take control of your destiny by having a clear picture of what you want to be and what you want to achieve. One of the best ways to incorporate habit 2 in your life is to develop a personal mission statement. It focuses on what you want to be and do. It is your plan for success. It reaffirms who you are. It puts your goal in focus and moves your ideas into the real world. Your mission statement makes you the leader of your own life. You create your destiny and secure the future that you envision. Best of luck with achieving your personal mission in life. Make habit number 2 as the way of creating your vision in your mind and pursuing that vision with your personal mission statement, with your action plans to achieve those goals. Inshallah.